Hey friends, how's it going? Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. Hope that you're doing well. Everybody knows one of the best parts of when it heats up is fresh fragrances. It's absolutely not the fact that you're not freezing to death. That's not the best part. It's not the fact that you can go outside and do all kinds of cool stuff, you know, go on a hike, play baseball, join a gang. Don't do that one. That's not the cool stuff. It's all about the fragrances. Smelling fresh and clean and good. I don't know why I threw that at you. And that's what we're talking about today, bros. The 25 top fresh fragrances. The TFF, not the Fragrance Foundation. That's different. All of these are gonna be linked in the description. There's a lot to talk about. Let's begin. And I'm gonna be a little biased and kick it off with the Arashi Reef. So this right here is one of the 2 new fragrances that I creatively directed, released underneath the Michael Malone brand. So it's actually this one and then this one right here, French Quarter. The French Quarter is more of like a fall, winter, early spring type of vibe. Like this one has bitter orange and apple and sazerac. So a slightly different boozy vibe compared to your more normal, you know, whiskey and rum. Also has sugar cube, cashmere, and vanilla as it dries down. Smells fantastic, but you know, not really fresh. This one though, this is like mouth-watering tropical fruitiness. It has a lot going on. So off the top, it has pink currant. It's got lemon zest. It has passion fruit pulp. Also tangerine, papaya blossom, coral reef, which is an imaginary note. Think of it more as like a minerality, aquatic vibe. And then as it dries down, it has coconut wood and blonde patchouli, among other notes. An absolute compliment monster. Women love this stuff to the point that my wife will straight up gank it from me and wear it for herself. Super tropical, ultra fresh. It is kind of in like the overarching family of something like Herba Pura. I don't even really like Herba Pura that much, but if I were going to draw like, you know, well, how does it smell? Yeah, sort of like that, but with its own vibe. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Like this is great. I am biased. And I'm gonna give away a bottle of this stuff as well in today's video, so stay tuned for that. Oh, here's the box. It looks like that. Love, 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 love this one. And you can find it in every fragrance outlet and every Perfumania store in the US. So if you have one of those nearby, you can pop in, you can smell it there. You can buy it on Michael Malone's website. You can buy also a 10 ml size if you don't want to go for the full size. And also have this code right here to save 25% off this bottle if you want to buy it off Michael Malone's website. Next fragrance, Missoni Wave. You gotta know the wave. This stuff is a community darling. It's not a bestseller as far as like, you know, everybody else. Your average bro probably doesn't know about it. A little bit similar to Versace Pour Homme or Chanel Allure Homme Sport. Price online, really nice, great aquatic scent. You can rock this all summer long. Also good during spring and early fall. And it comes with a magnetic cap. Love it. My cap is not magnetic, but it does click. But one thing this does have, pressurized atomizer. So close, that magnetic cap. That's the final piece. Velixir Helios up next. This is very similar to Paradise Garden. As usual with pretty much everything Velixir, the quality here is fantastic. 45 bones is what it runs. 100 ml size, presentation looks great. It is very slightly different from Paradise Garden in that to me, this one is a little bit zingier. So it has a little more lift to it. It's not quite as sweet as Paradise Garden. I mean, it has sweetness for sure. It's just this one is maybe a little bit fresher. And just like Paradise Garden, easy to wear all spring or summer. Bentley Silver Lake. This one's pretty cheap. And look at this. They have the Myself Absolute style presentation before Myself Absolute. That's right, the somewhat annoying fingerprint mirror bottle style. Love it. That is kind of annoying. Like all the bottles that look like this, if they're clean, they look good. But then the second you pick it up and sit it back down, it's like, oh, there are somehow 16,000 fingerprints on there. And I picked it up with one hand for 10 seconds. How's that possible? It's kind of like if you live somewhere where there's a lot of pollen, you clean your car and you're like, that car looks good. And then you like walk away for 10 minutes and you come back and you go, yeah, the whole car is covered in pollen again. That's not possible. Same thing. So this right here smells similar to Acqua di Gio Essenza, which Essenza is discontinued and freaking expensive, but Silver Lake is not. So it's gonna give you that Essenza vibe at a much lower price point. Quality is great for the price you pay. A dinky bottle of Polo 67 Extreme. cream. That stuff rules. So this is my favorite Polo 67 as of right now, but you can go with the OG or the Eau de Parfum. Both are really good as well. This one has a surprisingly big blast of fruit off the top. Nice, fresh, sweet. Also has solar notes in here, though it doesn't come across like sunscreen or anything like that. And even has caramel as well, which seems odd, doesn't seem like it would be fresh, but what that really does is just gives it an additional bit of sweetness as it dries down. It doesn't go full on like gourmand or anything. That would be weird. Now the next fragrance is mad expensive, guys. It is pricey. It's depressing, man. It's just, oh God. But I include it because this is the first fragrance from this house and this line that I have actually gravitated towards in a while. And I've dropped a couple grand on different fragrances in this line over the last couple years, and the majority of them I've been like, it's not even worth talking about, dude. So it's this Tom Ford Taormina Orange. So it's a Tom Ford, obviously, like I said, pricey. This right here, it speaks to me. I'm not even sure why. To me, it just kind of throws it back to like the earlier years of the Tom Ford Private Blend, you know? Like when Neroli Portofino came out originally, and when Mandarino di Amalfi, Costa Azzurra, you know, all these fragrances were coming out. At the time, it was like, man, these are nice. Maybe not like world shaking, but they're nice. They're easy to wear, the quality is high, and it's just something you can grab, spray, and go when it's hot outside. And this kind of brings it back to that. You know, it doesn't have any of those somewhat cringy names like Boner Orange or something. Terrible. Or how would they name that? Bone Orange. Tom Ford, Bone Orange. Good. You know, they always have like the innuendo names, and you just kind of go, ugh. Go up to the counter and you're like, I'll take that one. Which one are you asking for? Just that one. Rose Prick? Is that what you want that one? That's what this dude wants. You don't have to do that. You just, it's normal, I'll take it. But yeah, just throws it back to the old school style. Clean, fresh, citrusy, boom. It smells great. Light blue. This is kind of standard. This is the reformulated version. It's the Eau de Toilette. And I've never been the craziest fan of light blue, but it works. It's a modern summertime classic. It's been a best-selling fragrance ever since it came out. This newer version is better, in my opinion. It's obviously more contemporary, more modern. It's basically sea salty, clean woods with citrus. You can wear it whenever you want. The new Y Iced Cologne. This is a mint overload. You have to like mint, otherwise you're not gonna like this scent. It looks a little bit like antifreeze, like it has kind of a funky blue color to it, and if the light hits it a certain way, it takes a purplish hue sometimes. Actually, no, that's just my purple lights. It does look like antifreeze though. Like I said, overdosed on mint, but thankfully to me, the mint doesn't go toward toothpaste territory, you know, where it smells just really cheap and kind of aggressively bad. This one keeps it very, very, very brisk and fresh, and it still has that Y DNA in the background, that nice sweetness that people love. Let's go real green. Declaration Haute Fraîcheur. So this is gonna be a little bit more appealing probably to guys middle-aged and older, and that's gonna be because it's not got as much sweetness as a lot of other fragrances do. In case you can't tell, it is a green fragrance. It comes across green. There's citrus leaf off the top here, a bit of cardamom as well. The performance is not amazing. This is that type of scent that has more of a soft scent trail. It smells really classy though. And if you like fragrances with a little bit of a green edge as you head through spring and summer, this is one of the better ones out there, and it flies way under the radar. Now I talked before about a code for Arashi Reef, but I also have a multitude of other codes. Fragflex, you can get 10% off anytime you shop there with this code. Fragflex, one of the best discounters out there. So anytime you shop there, you can use that code, save yourself some cheddar. Also have codes for JOMASHOP, the Perfume Box, and many more stores. So using these discounters, you can find just about anything that you want heavily marked off, and use those codes to save even more. Up next, this one right here, Aristo from Arabiat Prestige. And that is Ingenious Ginger. It smells quite similar to that scent from Goldfield and Banks. And that is a fragrance that has had a number of different inspired by scents come out here recently. This is the one I gravitate towards the most. Some of the other ones are more aggressive with the ginger, to the point that it becomes a little bit iffier to wear. This one is smoother, has a nice sweetness to it, the way the citrus and ginger mingle, and this fragrance is great. And for the price point, it is a steal. Another one that's inexpensive but smells very expensive, and you can trick people. Yeah, that's the move. A little subterfuge, a little skullduggery. Rayhan Pacific Aura. So this right here smells similar to Pacific Chill, hence the color scheme and name. And it does have a magnetic cap. So kind of what I just talked about with Ingenious Ginger, you know, a lot of different inspired by fragrances that are similar to that scent. Same thing with Pacific Chill, and frankly, everything that Louis Vuitton does. Something, something, Louis Vuitton brand, really well known, something, something, crazy expensive, something, something, Dupe it. It makes sense. And this stuff is absolutely killer. This is one of the best, if not the best, fragrances that Rayhan has ever done. It is perfect for spring and summer. Great balance of tartness, sweetness, and freshness from the citrus that's in here, a little bit of that currant as well. Broskies, we're gonna throw it back just a little bit. A fragrance that has been a bestseller. So it's not one that's unknown. But even though it has been a bestseller for years and years and years and years, people look down on it. They give it no respect. They spit on it. They walk by it on the street, and there are a lot of people who go, oh, I really like that fragrance. That's a good guy right there. He's been there for me, you know? Spray him on, people love it. And a lot of people in the fragrance world, they'll see that and they'll be like, ah, oh, disgusting. I would curb stomp you if I could. It is Guilty by Gucci. Just the original Guilty. Now that line has had a little bit of a resurgence with Gucci Guilty Elixir, Gucci Guilty Absolute, Love Edition, but the original one, you know, it still gets hated on. And here's the weird thing about that. The fragrance breakdown here, it's simple. And to be fair, when this came out, that was not the norm. You know, at the time it was like, bro, I need 16 fragrance notes minimum. Nowadays, you're lucky if you get 5 fragrance notes. As I said though, when this came out, different time, different place. But when you look at the note breakdown, it looks familiar. So off the top, lavender and lemon, orange blossom in the mid, and then cedar, patchouli, and vanilla. I may or may not need to tell you this, but one of the most popular fragrances in the world has a similar kind of vibe. YSL's Myself, which also I have Myself Absolute for today's list. Now, I'm not saying Gucci Guilty smells the same as YSL Myself. It doesn't. But what I am saying is it has a very similar idea. Hit you with an almost clean laundry vibe, orange blossom, this one mixing with lavender and then lemon instead of the bergamot that you get in Myself. Then dry down to a nice clean woodiness, heightened with some sweetness from the vanilla. People love this. It is ultra versatile, wear it whenever you want. And Myself Absolute is similar to YSL's Myself, the original, only this one has a nice ginger in the opening that gives it more life, more zing, more pop when you first spray it on. It has a really nicely done modern patchouli once you get that dry down, kind of mixing with amber fix or amber woods. Up next, Armaf Dunescape. The name screams desert landscape, spices, warmth, power. The fragrance itself is a mix of YSLY and like Afternoon Swim from Louis Vuitton. I don't, you know, I question the name and the presentation, which actually looks pretty cool. You could put like a couple little ants in the cap and they could make a little anthill in there. It's got sand. So yeah, it's a little sus, but then the fragrance itself is not. This stuff, absolutely amazing. If you like those two fragrances, this is those put together. Mykonos Inception, like the movie, but it's a fragrance though. So Inception smells quite similar to Louis Vuitton Imagination. I know this is like a little baby bottle and you maybe wouldn't expect very much from this, frankly, but it actually rips pretty hard. It's an extrait parfum. You get a really nice lemon off the top mixing with ginger. That tea note from Imagination, that comes through here really prominently. Obviously way more affordable than the Louis Vuitton. This stuff, absolutely killer. It flies under the radar a bit, and I think a big reason for that is like Mykonos, I think there's like 5 or 6 that I could even get my hands on. But if you look at their catalog, it's enormous. So I think if they could get more of those over, and they are as good as this one, which, you know, that remains to be seen. But if they were, then that's gonna be a brand that won't fly under the radar as much. So it kind of depends on that. That one though, really good. Artisan Pure, inexpensive, super clean, lots of citrus off the top. To me, it has kind of a white floral aspect to it. I don't think it actually officially has any white florals in the note breakdown, but part of that could be that bottle, you know, that kind of look. And this is gonna remind you of stuff like Neroli Portofino from Tom Ford, only much less. Aqua de Jo Profundo Eau de Parfum, that's the one to get. Profundo Eau de Parfum, also Aqua de Jo Parfum, and the new one, Eau de Parfum Intense. That one smells similar to the discontinued Aqua de Jo Absolute. That one's really good also. But I love this one. Basically takes the original Aqua de Jo Eau de Toilette, makes it more modern, gives it more of a minerality to it, less floral notes. Smells great. This one flies under the radar. It is Tommy Hilfiger Impact Spark. Now I have to tell you, this is not the kind of scent where you're gonna, smell it and just be like, oh, it's amazing. But it is a little bit different, easy to wear, very inexpensive. So it has fig, violet, tea, bitter orange, and then kind of like an Akigallo wood, modern, dry, woody base. Emphasis on dry when you hit that dry down. It's not overly citrusy, juicy. It does keep things a little bit more woody leaning, but still fresh. And it's a nice change of pace from all the other more popular fragrances out there nowadays. It will probably appeal more to guys, I would think, like mid-20s and up. After that one, I've got this right here, Luna Rossa Sport by Prada. This gets overlooked all the time. Basically, Luna Rossa nowadays for most people is Luna Rossa Black, Luna Rossa Carbon, both versions, and all the different oceans. But this stuff still works really, really well. It smells similar to Jean Paul Gaultier's Le Male, the original, that kind of combo, lavender and vanilla, only this one is more modern and fresher and easier to wear compared to the JPG. Gulf Orchid Mango Ice. Smells similar to God of Fire, only with more of an emphasis on the mango. More of a fresh, uplifting, brisk take on that DNA. Also really affordable, an absolute killer bang for buck. So is this French Avenue Atlantis Extrait, which this smells like Wave Child. If you have never smelled that fragrance, it is pretty strong for a fresher type scent. Got a good amount of sweetness to it, has this really big watermelon, almost like a candied watermelon note to it, and it will absolutely have you standing out. Up next, Still Life in Rio Olfactive Studio. This is their older presentation style. This has always been kind of like I wouldn't say guilty pleasure. It's been one that I really like to bust out. Like early spring through early summer, because it has a nice booziness to it, like this boozy sweetness melding together with fresher fruits. So it has yuzu, ginger, and pepper, along with coconut as some of the notes, rum as well, that booziness. The only drawback with this one is the performance is not amazing, and also at discounters, this is kind of hard to find a lot of times. Abercrombie & Fitch, yeah. First Instinct Extreme. Now this one, back in the day, hyped. Yeah, it was hyped. Not as much anymore. People kind of forgot about it. Got kind of a cool wave bottle to it. And yeah, for a minute, man, Abercrombie & Fitch coming out with these First Instincts, people were really hyped every time they dropped one. Note breakdown is actually kind of crazy compared to a lot of note breakdowns nowadays. It had mandarin leaf, pepper, and star fruit off the top. Yeah, and Abercrombie & Fitch hitting you with star fruit and mandarin leaf. Also had coconut milk, cardamom, saffron, musk, and violet leaf. And some of the other notes in here. So yeah, just a lot of different things going on. It does have a little bit of that mall smell to it, which it is an Abercrombie & Fitch, so that kind of fits. But this stuff, man, it works. It still commands attention, and you can still usually find it for like 30 bucks. Speaking about star fruit, Manteau Fraîche. Gotta have Manteau Fraîche. This is mandatory. This right here, basically right after Eros, is the most popular fragrance for men that Versace has done. Like this outsells Dylan Blue. And Starfruit is the main thing that people know from this. It smells a little similar to Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue for women, although this one obviously leans more masculine than that one. And then we're gonna wrap it up with Dior Homme Sport. Cannot go wrong. I love this iteration of Dior Homme Sport. Basically takes Dior Homme 2020, freshens it up, adds a nice bit of citrus in there, a little more of an emphasis on that, dials down the emphasis on the fresher, spicier part of the woodiness that this has. Absolutely not just a gym fragrance. In fact, I don't even really think of that as a gym fragrance. It's more an anytime versatile king for spring and summer than anything else. And with that, 25 cents. Let's do the giveaway. So it's gonna be for a full presentation of Arashi Reef, one of my new fragrances. I worked on this one with Michael Malul and the whole group over there for over a year. So yeah, both of them, French Quarter and this one. But yeah, it'll be one of these, full presentation, all nice and sealed and everything. If you want to be entered in the giveaway, just be subscribed to the channel, leave me a comment down below. In the comment, just tell me your go-to summertime fragrance, whatever that is, go-to fresh fragrance. I'll pick a winner with random comment picker, post it up on the post tab of the YouTube channel. It will be with a bunch of other winners because I badge them out and do it all at once. That way, once all the winners have hit me up, I can ship them all out at one time. Thank you guys for watching until the end. Stay safe out there. Good luck with the giveaway. See you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.